Welcome in, everybody. How's it going? A little bit late today, but I just had to, when I got off work, I just had to make me some food and chow down before I got ready for the stream. So I'm done with that. So now we're gonna get into some. Welcome in, everybody. Wow. Nothing. We're gonna get into some reaction. Gonna be reacting to Shoe on the Head. But it's Asmongold's reaction to Shoe on Head. Just because, all right, I like his reactions, and I like reacting to his reactions because it makes actually pretty decent clips for me. All right, so you know, it's all about the views here. All right, we can get all the authenticity later. All right, right now I just need to get where I want to get, and after that, then we can go for authenticity. But yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and start. We're gonna start up. And here we go.
So this has been a video. A lot of people have wanted me to watch this ever since it came out. I obviously there's been a lot of election stuff, and the big question: why are men moving right? Now, in my opinion, I think the answer to this is fucking obvious.
Hello everyone, and happy 1-year anniversary to my male loneliness epidemic video. I'm happy to announce that since that video uploaded, the discourse has greatly improved. People all around the world are taking men's issues more seriously.
Well, that stopped after Kamala lost. Yeah, that's over. This was like a video from before the election. Yeah, that's done.
The gender war has finally come to an end. Just kidding, everything has gotten worse and nobody has learned anything. From
yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
The witches on The View cackling about how men are useless.
Do we need men?
Well, the funny thing about that is, well, you primarily lost, or Kamala primarily lost due to the men's vote. So I guess it turns out that you did need men.
This is the same woman, by the way, that was upset the other day that men didn't vote for Kamala Harris. It turns out, in fact, you did need men. Kind of interesting, huh?
Men are useless.
Men are useless.
To women online saying they'd rather be stranded in the
Yeah, there it is. There it is, man. Well, that's...
Funny thing about Shoe on Head, she's actually a leftist. She's definitely left wing, but she's like a competent left winger. So she's not like strictly left and then, you know, that's it. She actually gets some points from the right as well. So she's more like in the middle. So that's why I like Shoe on Head. She's got like an even mindset about this stuff.
That's what you get.
woods with a bear than a man.
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
The bear. Bear. It seems that things have gotten more toxic than ever, and the gender divide couldn't.
I feel like that's one of those questions. It's like a retard indicator. Like, if you think that, I automatically think that you're stupid. Like, it's not even that. Like, it makes me mad. I just like, oh, okay, so you're just, yeah, you don't think about things the right way.
Be any
No.
wider, especially politically.
In 2008, 58% of young people leaned Democratic. 2012, 53%. And in the last two major election years, that percentage held steady at 55%. But in 2023, that number dipped below 50% for the first time since 2005.
Yep.
And you'll notice right here, they've started
Party preferences of young people, 2023. And that's where it stops, because 2024, 2025. Okay.
to lean
Let's take a look at this.
more Republican.
I
And
wonder
that's partly
why.
because of one specific group.
Because of guys.
Young men.
That's right.
The man problem.
The man problem.
We are superior. Just kidding. I mean, well, we are, but yeah.
Okay, I know I said I was going to
not like that.
Focus on the gender war and not talk about politics for a while. However, I
loophole!
Found a loophole. Politics is talking about gender war. With this election being hailed by the media as the man versus woman election, according to any and all data coming out recently, men all around the world have shifted more right, and women have shifted more left. But women going more left was not the focus of this month's outrage. The outrage, of course, was about men. That's right,
oh, shocker there.
We got our yearly, oh no, what is happening to men? Why are they moving to the right? Freak out. But unlike last year,
I wonder why. And I wonder why.
This freak out isn't solely happening on the internet, no. It's also
also another big difference about last year's freak out is that this year's freak out was codified by an election. That's the big difference, I would say. That's a real big fucking difference.
Yeah, I would say.
In Washington, D.C.
Okay, I'm just agreeing to Asmongold. I'm not reacting, I'm just agreeing. Just calm down, all right? Just let me warm up.
Are only 46 days until Election Day, and the Harris-Walz campaign is struggling to appeal to a group of voters that could determine the outcome of the election, and that is men.
The Harris campaign is making an aggressive last-minute effort to win over younger male voters.
Am I really going to make a video criticizing the Democrat Party days before the election? Of course I am. Now, before you celebrate or grab your pitchforks, this is not a pro-Trump video. This is a...
Okay, so it's a pro-Trump... See, the thing is that...
If they have to say it like that, that means it kind of is like that.
It's really funny how everybody who makes videos on the internet now has to preface this stuff.
Yeah.
And you literally can't, again, you can't reason a person out of a position they didn't reason themselves into. The people that believe this shit, they believe it. They're not believing it based off of like, oh, I evaluated the facts and this is my conclusion. No, they believe this because they're mad. They're upset. That's the reason why.
Do better video.
It's not logical,
this is a
at all.
Mommy's not mad, she's disappointed video.
Mommy's still mad.
Actually, I lied. Mommy's pretty mad. In this video, I am going to be addressing the Democrats' so-called man problem, the recent discourse about men moving right, the last-minute pandering the Democratic Party is doing to get them back, what they could be doing.
Dude, her teeth are super white, dude. Jealous. I mean, my teeth are white, but they're not chew on head white. Gosh, she needs to fix that eye makeup, though, I swear.
Instead, and of course, going over some terrible opinions. Not my opinions. I have never had a bad opinion in my life.
Yes,
except that one opinion. We don't talk about that one.
I got banned for.
In a world where it seems like everything men do and like is toxic, from eating meat to working out to
how gym bro culture is harming young men, the pressure to get jacked is sparking a male
pressure to get jacked off is sparking a male mental health crisis and driving men into the arms of the far right.
Mental health crisis and driving men into the arms of the far right. It's just like this kind of thinking is just, it's so stupid.
And having a beard.
Why men's with beards are sexist. And
men with beards are sexist. Now, I wonder why. I wonder why they say men with beards are sexist. Let me just ponder on this a little bit. I mean, J.D. Vance has a beard. J.D. Vance is Donald Trump's VP. Willing to bet there's a bit of a correlation with that.
And you know what's really funny about this? Is I bet the reason why this got written is just because of J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance has a beard, so beards are sexist.
Damn, I'm good. I'm so good.
It's just so, like, it's so fucking stupid. I can't even believe it. True, yes.
Oh, wait, that reminds me. Before we get into this video, let's quickly give a shout out to today's video sponsor, Henson Shaving.
All right, we have to watch the ad because she'll yell at us if we don't watch the ad.
If you've used a multi-blade razor, you're probably familiar with this story. Irritation, razor burns, and maybe even ingrown hair. Studies show 2/3 of men
I used
those glasses though. I'm a sucker with chicks with glasses, man. I'm a sucker for chicks with glasses.
to try to shave within
I don't even know if they're real lens glasses, but she does look good in those glasses.
1 minute. I would like speed run it. And I would take photos, like if you search Asmongold shave, I would take photos to see how much that I would bleed.
Experience some form of irritation after shaving.
Yep.
It's something they just expect at this point. They deal with
Wait, what did I say?
overpriced blades, irritated.
I was actually gonna show like how
Oh, look at that. That skin looks rough, bruh. I mean, I know I have this thing right here. That is from shaving, but I don't know.
how I shave and get ready, but then I did it, and then I realized I would, if I uploaded it, I would get banned to YouTube, on YouTube because of gore.
and think that's just the way it has to be. Until now. Henson Shaving is on a mission to improve shaving with real innovation and a focus on your skin's health.
Speedrun shaving.
Their
Yeah.
razors are made with solid aluminum, making them not only durable,
Oh, look. They're like the old shavers. What it looks like anyway.
but environmentally
Yeah, look at that. It looks like the old classic shavers that our grandpappies used to have.
It does look like if Trump made razors, I think that they would look like that.
friendly too. There's no
Solid
plastic
gold,
involved at
bigger
all,
than it
even
has
in the
to be.
packaging.
Yeah.
And the blades are fully recyclable. What really sets Henson apart is their engineering, with their Henson AL13 safety razor being manufactured in an aerospace machine shop that built parts for the International Space Station.
So what, these are just the space station scraps that are like, oh, fuck it, just make shavers out of them.
This precision allows the blade to extend just 1/1000th of an inch beyond the shave plane, less than the thickness of a human hair. The razor prevents any bouncing or skipping, resulting in an irritation-free shave every time. Henson even partnered with a medical imaging startup, and results indicated that the Henson AL13 razor
Henson razor, multi-blade razor. Well, yeah, because there's more blades to fucking scratch up your skin. No shit, Sherlock. That's how razors work.
significantly reduces razor burn in comparison to conventional multi-blade razors.
See, I always thought that, like, if I shaved long enough, the razor burn and the bleeding would stop. I invented this myself. And do you want to know what's really funny? It worked. I never bleed now.
You lying sack of shit. You just said in one of your streams the other day, bro. Like, yeah, I still bleed.
See?
You said, see.
Completely fine.
Switched to using Henson as my go-to razor brand. My shaves have been
I will say this. Even though Asmongold, he says he claims that he doesn't shower and shit like that. I'm sure he does. But, I mean, he takes care of his beard a lot better than I do mine. He shaves the shit out of this. I don't think I really see many streams of him with just these just lounging around his neck, you know. It seems pretty clean for like the whole time.
more silky and smoother than ever. No more burns or cuts, just a close shave that feels amazing. In other words, no more leg beard. The best part is, once you invest in a Henson razor, it's a lifetime purchase. The only thing you need to repurchase are the blades, which only cost 10 cents each. 10 cents. So once you own a Henson razor, you'll only be spending $3 to $5 a year on blades, compared to the ongoing cost of buying those expensive plastic cartridges. Henson store offers a variety of colors, so you can pick the razor that best
I would get the blue one. Just, you know, I love blue. That's my favorite color.
fits your style. So head over to hensonshaving.com/shoe and use my special discount SHOE at checkout to get 100 blades for free with your purchase of a Henson razor. Your skin and your environment will thank you. Big thank you to Henson.
No, I'm not going to make the joke. Let me just move on.
For sponsoring this video, and thank you for not skipping the ad. You didn't skip the ad, right?
No, we're not.
And now, let's get back to the video.
We don't need to do that.
If you are a regular viewer to the Shoe on Head channel, first of all, I'm sorry. But also, you know by now, I have been documenting the internet and society in general's growing and widely accepted hatred of men.
Every time I hear this beat, I feel like it's like it sounds like that one Eminem song, or is it a D12 song, where it's all woo, 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 woo. You know? Blessed to be here always. Hey, what's up, Blessed? Thank you for coming in.
This has been happening for a very long time. And if you dare spoke up about it, you were called an incel or a pick-me, depending on your gender.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But seemingly, almost out of nowhere, there has been a change of heart.
Well, the reason why there's been a change of heart is because there's enough of them now. It's not like people became more understanding. It's just that people realized that they couldn't just hand wave it away.
Well, yeah, and on top of that, once you have every other person calling somebody an incel or a pick-me, everybody's an incel or a pick-me, apparently. And so they're just like, fuck it, whatever.
Very important component.
Oh. I buzzed my head and used an electric razor for a facial shave yesterday. Nice. Electric razors? See, I don't use electric razors. Well, I mean, I do to like trim up this stuff, but I use an actual razor for like this stuff right here. But yeah, I buzz my head too, but that's just because I'm going bald. I'm a loser.
I think men are in crisis, actually, in this country. I think that plays out different ways. But
men have been in crisis. What are you talking about?
I think we need to have a real conversation about that.
Wow, that's interesting. Mainstream media talking about this? I wonder why they care so much now.
Oh, no, don't tell me.
Oh. Democrats fear
Harris losing too many male voters. Okay, that's okay. There's always a catch.
Harris losing too many male voters to Trump.
Well, how about that?
Yeah.
Oh. Signs have been mounting that, for the first time in recent decades, Democrats may lose majority support from young men in 2024. The risk to Democrats is that this is not just a one-time fluke, but an indication of growing trouble with men in coming elections. Democrats can celebrate the support they are getting from young women, but they also need to take
It's actually crazy if you can't see why Democrats don't get support from young guys.
I mean, if you really think about it, I went to the dermatologist, and electric is better for the skin than blades. Oh, really? Nice. Dre, what's the difference between me and you? What? Oh, is that the song? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, it is a Dre song. Okay. Yeah, see? Yeah. I got what you're saying. Yeah, I knew it sounded familiar, but the only thing that's missing is that whistle sound. Ooh, woo, woo. But okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Just hang it up, get another job, get another one.
Disaffection of young men seriously,
it's so
engage them directly, and respond to the visions of manhood and masculinity that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are offering. All right, Kamala, you got 2 weeks to reverse anti-male propaganda and resentment fueled by our government, media, and institutions. How you gonna do it? Harris campaign
creating space for white dudes. What?
Creating space for white dudes. Oh!
Wait a minute. Is this like is this like a thing where it's like a free space to talk about how shitty white dudes are, even though they haven't really done anything wrong in this current generation? Pretty much apologizing for shit that their grandfathers did or some shit like that. Does she read the article or just headline reading? She reads the article. Well, she gives like she reads the article, gives a thorough thought, but like to speed things up, she she talks about it.
I just like, it's just so, it's like, even whenever this is like their version of like reverse racism, where they're like, we actually want to bring in white guys. And it's like, it's like, is this what it feels like to be patronized for being a minority? Like, is this what it's like? Like, because I read that title and I'm like, well, you fucking loser. Like, what do you mean?
That's a great idea. I mean, a little too late, but I'm glad you're finally doing to be honest about role in history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I fucking knew it. I knew it.
Oh. It's always a space doing to be honest.
To be honest about role in history. Oh, okay. So, yeah, space for them to take accountability for things that they didn't do.
Yeah,
right.
see?
Okay. Sure. True.
Yeah.
About role in history. Oh. It's always a space for white men to talk about how much they suck.
Yeah, and so the idea that you're going to tell a 21-year-old guy that he isn't going to have opportunities and advantages and privileges because of something his grandfather did.
I mean, pretty much making the same goddamn point, Asman. Yes.
This really isn't a very good sell. And putting any sort of original sin on people are going to lose their minds on this. They're going to hate it. Yeah, their great-grandfather. Yeah, exactly. Well, men used to have this advantage. Yeah, but I don't have it, so why am I getting punished? Okay, well, that's just the way it is. It's just
Christianity, God makes third to fourth generation to pay for their family. Family sins, yep.
systematic. Well, where's the system? The only system I see is privileges and scholarships for women. Like, any young guy, like, college and getting a job, and especially an entry-level job, are the two main experiences that every young man under 30 has probably gone through, one or the other, if not both. And in both of those circumstances, there are privileges and opportunities that are created for women that are not available for men. You can't tell somebody that they can't see what's directly in front of them. When you see these opportunities put out for getting women into STEM, and there's women that are getting invited in over somebody else who's a guy, or getting an extra privilege, or getting an internship at a company. Internships absolutely are meaningful. That's why people have them. Any guy that sees that is going to think that they're being discriminated against.
God, I want to get to this level of reaction. I really do.
And do you want to know why? It's because they are. When you categorize...
I just more likely have like a shortened, dumbed down version of what's going on. But he goes into like complete detail.
People by a...
You gotta respect that.
Group, and you provide privileges to a certain part of that group and not the other part, you've just done a discrimination. Imagine that.
You start this group, White Dudes for Harris, and I suspect some of it has to do with...
he started it? Yeah, he looks like he would start something like that. I mean, look at him. Jeez Louise.
Polling.
Yeah, for far too long, the left has essentially
He's trying to get a girl, dude. He's trying, bro.
Seated white men to the MAGA right. There's large parts of the left who have gone out of their way to alienate white men over the last couple of years.
He's right.
And that's understandable in many ways. We decided that we wanted to create space for white men to be a part of electing Vice President Harris.
And I can guarantee whatever chick he's trying to get, she didn't go for him.
At the top of the
problem is that space is that the space is patronizing, and it feels like it's like tokenization. I wouldn't say it's like a minstrel or something like that, because I feel like that's so, like, it's so charged as a term, but it's almost like bringing out white people as like, see, look, they support us too. It's weird. Yeah, I think it's just like, it's unironically just weird. Everything about it is weird.
White Dudes for Harris organizer Ross Morales Roquito said he wanted to address what he called the elephant in the room.
To be their little whipping boy? Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, and big surprise, men don't want to be talked down to.
Ross Morales Roquito said he wanted to address what he called the elephant in the room, criticism surrounding an event organized for white men given the
That's your read too, yeah.
country's history of racism.
Nobody cares about the history of racism. If you talk to any young guy, any young white guy, they don't give a fuck about slavery. They don't care about any of this stuff. They weren't alive then. They don't know anybody.
For context, when he says they didn't give a fuck about slavery, meaning they had nothing to do with it, so why are they getting punished for that? And that's the main thing that the Democratic Party was trying to push towards young white men. And so, of course, they're going to go to the right. Of course, they're going to move over to that side because they're not being, ridiculed. They're not being judged for stuff that they haven't been doing. And, it's just, it seems right for them, because why the hell would they vote for somebody that's just talking down on them all the goddamn time? You know what I'm saying?
Who was alive then. It's completely irrelevant to their lived experience. So if you're going to tell somebody, yes, we're going to categorically discriminate against you and oppress you based off of something that you weren't a part of and nobody who is even alive was a part of, and probably you don't even know anyone who knew anyone that was a part of, guess what? You're going to get resentment. It's so fucking obvious. Why would somebody care about something that happened 150 years ago when it's not happening now and it's affecting them in a negative way? It's not even close. Like, I don't even know what to say. How can you possibly think this is an effective strategy?
All right, Asman, moving along, man.
It was beaten to death in school over and over. Yeah, so was you typing that. You're banned. Stop it. Stop spamming. You typed it 5 times.
People felt uncomfortable about the call, he said.
Quit it.
Throughout American history, when white men organized, it was often with pointy hats on. They can't even have their gay
Wait, what? A lot of times, a lot of people felt uncomfortable about the call, he said. Throughout American history, when white men organized, it was often with pointy hats on. Did you know that when white men organized, it was also to...
Pretty sure I know what he's about to say. There were other times when white men organized to end slavery. That was actually the Republican Party, might I add. And also, when white men organized, it was to stop the Nazis in World War II. I mean, come on. Like, you can't just put in one description of one time that a certain type of white men organized and it was bad, and that's the only thing that's categorized when white men organized was in bad things. White men definitely organized for good things, for the greater good as well. You can't just see this dude. The dude that made this article is definitely trying to get some chick, bro, and he still didn't bag her, bro. It's a debt that's owed, passed down through genetics. Oh, I have 2 theories why. I forgot my other. I hypothesize that it damages our DNA. What do you mean? It's a debt that's owed, passed down through genetics. I forgot my other. I hypothesize that's it. That it damages our DNA. Wait, that what damages your DNA? Hold on. I'm a little lost here. We got ads. I'll see. I'll talk to you about that when we get back.
To get rid of slavery and to stop the Nazis in World War II. Like, this is just like, it's so...
For example, slavery. Our sins damages our DNA and is passed down through our DNA. Oh, okay, okay. I got you. I see what you're talking about now. So, for example, slavery. Our sins damages our DNA and is passed down through our DNA. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense for sure. Yeah. I mean, also that's another reason why, like you said earlier, God, would you say, punishes like every third or fourth generation. There's a book named The Body Keeps Score. It talks about trauma being kept in the body. Yep. Yep. I can see that for sure.
It's such a disgusting, ridiculous thing to say. And as a white guy, I find this to be incredibly offensive. I do. I would never vote for a person that would talk about me like this.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Why would I support somebody who demonizes me and talks down to me? I would never do this.
I'm not sure if you heard what I said because of the ad, but yeah, I agree. Our sins damages our DNA and is passed down through our DNA, but not every white dude, you know, was the one that was the total ruler of slavery. You know, I mean, the people that sold the Africans to I guess the Americans, right, were other African people. But yeah, generations within those family bloodlines and the stuff that they did, then yeah, I can definitely see how that would definitely damage generational human beings. So yeah, I can definitely see that.
Not in a million years.
Pointy hats on. They can't even have their gay little Zoom call where they circle jerk about hating themselves without their own movement going, yikes! A bunch of white males in one space? Seems kind of like the...
I've seen this. Seems like the KKK. Have you guys seen, like, I remember there was a recent article that was written, or like a statement made by like some games journalist, I think it was Jason Schreier, who he saw like a photo of a game studio.
I just want to say this face she's making right here reminds me of that one duck from what's that one movie, dude? Chicken Little. Like, that's just what it reminds me of for some reason.
And it was a bunch of white guys, and he was complaining about it. I'm sorry, but like, if you do that, you're just you're making everything worse.
KKK. Black people can have their little groups and that's fine, but if a bunch of white people get together, well, that's just called BreadTube. Never mind. White dudes for Harris. I mean, she's doing pretty bad with Latinos too. What's next? Hombres con Harris? Oh.
Did she really just say hombres con Harris? Oh my goodness. It's hombres con Harris. Oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, that definitely makes sense too. Hold on. Hombres con Harris. The Democratic campaign's initiative to mobilize a Hispanic male vote. Well, if we can't get white people, let's get Mexicans to do it. Goodness gracious.
The Democratic campaign initiatives to mobilize the Hispanic male vote. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say about this kind of stuff. Like, this is so, it's just so
it's cringe, dude.
Patronizing and insulting. It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I agree with you there, man.
It's so racist. Yes, it's actually just racist.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's the thing that is definitely the thing that the Democratic Party, like, even on election night, they were like, oh well, how's the Hispanic vote? How's the Hispanic vote doing? How's the black vote doing? How are we doing on the white votes? You mean how are we doing on the American votes? Like, come on, man. Like, why you gotta segregate it to different, races like that? It's the American vote. Why? And that was a big thing and Republicans weren't really the ones pushing that narrative. That's always been a Democratic thing, especially in this, in this election. Anti-racist racism. Yes, exactly. Yes. Make it make sense, you know?
Hombres? They're not hombres. They're Americans.
I mean, come on now. Come on now.
It's unreal. I don't know what to say.
So basically, men are leaving the Democratic Party in droves, and it's not looking too good for the Democrats. So it wasn't long until everyone's favorite discourse hit Twitter again. If Kamala loses, which is very possible, there needs to be a real discussion about how Democrats speak to and reach young men. If Kamala loses. If she wins, there doesn't have to be discussion.
That's right.
We shouldn't change anything. Clearly, we're doing everything right.
Yes.
To be
Zing!
clear, I'm not saying we need to worry about women less or change any positions. I'm saying the polling around young men is concerning, and if it turns out to be true, we need to have a discussion about how condescending we are coming off to a huge part of the electorate.
You want to know what's really funny is I bet this guy probably got a huge amount of hate for that comment.
Probably.
Because he's completely right.
Yeah.
If you condescend to people and you talk down to them and you just...
Yeah, they're not going to want to vote for you. They're not going to want to take your side on anything. Like, oh, you're talking shit about me? Okay. Deuces.
Just act like they're bad. They're going to act like they don't like you. It's a big surprise, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what are we even talking about? Obviously, that's what happened.
To be clear, I'm not saying we have to change anything. I'm just wondering why men aren't voting for us. What? I am gonna regret posting this so hard. And oh boy did he. The replies were insane, to say.
You called it, Azzy. You called it, bro. You called it, man.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
What a surprise. Wow. Ooh. Who could have guessed?
The least. I must admit, I cringed reading most of this. I feel that one thing you didn't address is the systemic
Look, it's just some older white lady.
entitlement bestowed upon white men in the U.S.
Bestowed upon white men. Systemic entitlement. Oh my goodness.
That sense of entitlement, that privilege they felt for eternity, is eroding.
What privilege is that?
Yeah,
Like, if you go and you talk to a 21-year-old white guy now, what privilege are they actively enjoying?
Yeah. What advantages do they have?
Where is it? I don't know. Where is it? Yeah, I'm not sure.
Systemic.
I mean, sure. Majority of white families have both parents in the home, a father and a mother, and they want to say that other races don't have. I mean, I guess Hispanics too. They have a mother and a father too, for the most part. But other races, they're like, yeah, it's just the father's gone and the mother's there. Well, if you have an American system, in the government that is pretty much incentivizing women to be single. I mean, child support, what's it called? Alimony, a whole bunch of other stuff, living off the government, Section 8, all that stuff. When you're incentivizing women to be single mothers, of course there's going to be not a father in the household.
Entitlement they have felt for eternity. They're like 22 years old. The f*** do you mean eternity? Who is this?
Eternity.
Yeah, exactly. And again, if you look at the comment here, this is an older woman.
Yeah, look, an older white woman. An older hot woman.
Yeah. I'm sure that when you were growing up, things were worse. And that's bad. But if you take that...
Thanks for the talk. I hope to be back. Have a blessed day. Hey, thank you for coming in. Blessed to be here always. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful day. And, hope to see you back soon.
And you fucking displace that trauma onto some new person. you can guarantee that they're going to be bad again.
Like 200-year-old man. So young men are snowflakes with hurt fifis because they're not the center of attention anymore. Got it.
Never asked to be the center of attention.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Exactly.
What? He's being sarcastic,
yep.
Right?
And Trump and Vance and Joe Rogan make them the center of attention, and then they win the elections.
But they didn't make them the center of attention. They just made it so that they're not treated like shit. That's the thing.
What a fucking surprise.
Not the center of attention.
Wow. Who could have guessed? It's a shock.
So are they poor little snowflakes, boo-hoo, or are they scary fascists that are going to turn America into the Handmaid's Tale? Because they can't be both. You either care about the future, or you don't. You cannot simultaneously hand-wave away men moving to fascism, but also fearmonger about it. Hi, man here. Maybe men just need to stop being absolute pieces of dog shit. It seems like the easiest thing to do.
Oh, man, that dude. Man, I bet he's got chicks left and right. His chicks are his left and right.
This is just, man. Do you know what's the most sad about this? It's like these self-hating men that do this. And I personally think that the only reason guys make posts like this is to
What's that? Anna Carter 12. Hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
virtue signal to have.
Hello, my headphones aren't working right now. Can you chat instead? By the way, which game do you stream the most? Damn it, Anna. Get out of here.
Girls think that they're good people. Like, they're basically trying...
If your headphones don't work, play it on your phone.
...to sell themselves out in order to, like, have girls like them. Beta cucks? Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, sure. They do it to attract lib girls? Yeah, exactly.
Yep, exactly, yeah. They do it to attract lib girls. Which they don't even get, anyway.
Right?
So all that virtue signaling for what?
I don't feel alienated or uncomfortable with Democratic messaging because I'm not a complete wannabe fascist cheese dick incel loser who thinks...
What? Hold on. I don't feel like... Right? I don't feel alienated or uncomfortable with Democratic messaging because I'm not a complete wannabe fascist cheese dick incel loser who thinks he's the good... Oh my goodness.
He's the good guy.
To be fair, okay, just... Oh shit, my dad's calling
me. I love it when his dad calls.
Hello? Hey, what's up?
I told you why, you know, this...
Well, all right, I'm gonna put you on speaker. Go ahead.
Okay, I said before... what the issue is, I repeat, what I said before was what this whole shit, all this shit about men, you know, basically talking shit about guys who are more masculine, to use kind of in quotes there, guys who go to the gym, guys who go fishing, hunting, you know, do things that guys do rather than playing pickleball or something. Where all that started was the girly men. You know, like I say, the femboys of their time back in the 60s. They couldn't get laid, and they see all their competition gets drafted, you know, or a bunch of it gets drafted off or joins the army or whatever, Marines or whatever. And there they are. All they gotta do is look like girls. They grow their hair long, and they suck up to the girls. And guess who gets laid? You know, there's still. I mean, you go by any biker bar, you go anywhere, you're gonna see a bunch of chicks there, and they're out of them. There's gonna be the porkers, and there's gonna be regular ones and average ones. And there's going to be a bunch of damn good-looking ones there, too. Just as many as are up at the Galleria Mall.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
Stepford was.
Yeah, so sure.
This all dates back to, I hate to admit it, my fucking boomer generation of girly men. And had never had any respect for those fuckers. And, you know, when I took any shit from them, you know, they found.
I wonder how Asmon's dad is doing. Last I heard, he wasn't doing too well. But I hope everything's going good for his dad, though, for sure.
Not how much.
All right. Okay. Okay. I'll give you a call later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye.
I'll give you a call later.
Okay. Yep. There it is. There it fucking is. I totally agree, by the way. And guys now are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, they've been doing it.
The way that they make women happy is by being subservient.
Mm-hmm.
They can't meet women's needs in other ways, so the only way they can is by being obedient and subservient.
Yep.
Reddit and its consequences have been a disaster for the male race. They just need to get off their asses, stop playing video games, and get real jobs.
First, to be fair, probably true in a lot of cases.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, what real jobs?
Yeah.
These guys are coming out of college with useless diplomas, and there are no jobs. Also, what an
I mean, like, the real jobs that are out there have initiatives to have women get hired over them. So it's like, yeah, go get a real job, and then, by the way, it's rigged against you. Yeah, there's some, like, DEI initiative that puts you at the back of the line.
touch boomer ass take. Get off your ass and stop playing those video games from the generation who watches TV 24/7. I don't want to hear it. Tell them to get therapy. Tell them whatever you told or gave to women in the 1950s. They made this.
Yeah, and there it is. Why the fuck would a guy that's born in the year 2001 give a fuck what happened in 1950? Why would he ever do, like, it's just, they're looking for revenge, not equality. They are. That's exactly right. Why would anybody give a fuck?
Bed, let them sleep alone in it, or be better men. Any other group of people, and it's, oh, boo-hoo, poor baby.
Well, this is the problem, is that, like, any time that there's a male issue, it's about how males should fix the issue. Every time that there's any issue about any other group, it's about how, well, it's also about how males should fix the issue, too.
Well, that's fair.
That's what happens. Yeah. I see it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
We rewire all of society so your feelings aren't hurt. And then with men, it's get therapy. Be better. While there is truth in messaging needs to be better from
it's like, and this is also coming from the women that are like turning on their cell phone and recording a video for TikTok while they're screaming because Kamala Harris lost.
While there's truth in messaging needs to be better. While there is truth in messaging needs to be better from the Democrats as a whole, I reject that. Telling young men that they need to be better is the problem. They are trash in their nature, and if they can't do the work to not be toxic, waste of seed, then that's on them. Wow. Damn.
And this is like after they've pulled their hair out and they've been bed rotting for 4 hours. It's like, this is the
Bro, I hate bed rotting. I do it from time to time. Usually it's on a day off because I just don't want to do nothing. I just lay in my bed, scroll, and I know I should be making content or streaming or something, but nope. I just friggin' scroll, and the next thing you know, it's like 4 hours that's gone by, and I'm like, I guess I'll get up and do something. You know, I'll take, pork chop, OUTSIDE. Yeah, she's looking at me right now. And, then I'll get started, but then, like, I'll eventually go right back to the bed and I'll lay down and keep scrolling again. Look at everybody else's content and wish that I made some content when literally it's just like 5 feet away. I can just make content right then and there. But then I'm like, yeah, it's just, yeah, bed rotting's no fun. But I guess it's needed sometimes, I guess. I don't know.
Person that's telling you be better. Some like psycho with 3 different colors of blue in their hair with a septum ring that lives at her mom's house at, you know, I was going to say level 34, age 34.
Level 34.
Like, what are we
same thing, I guess. Yeah.
Talking about that's on like 3 different antidepressants, you know, screaming at you for you to be better.
Democrats as a whole, I reject that telling young men they need to be better is the problem. They are trash in their nature, and if they can't do the work to not be toxic waste of seed, that's on them.
Bed rotting is just a sign of burnout and need of rest. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's true. But I mean, there's bed rotting, and then there's like bed rotting into depression. You know, like I'm sure bed rotting is like different for a bunch of other people. But when I bed rot, then I just start scrolling, and then I see like the views, like how many views people get, and I'm like, dang, that's a lot of views. Wow, that's a lot of comments. And then I started thinking like, damn, I got to get to work. I got to start working on my content. You know, I want to get there someday. You know, my biggest video is at 1.3 million, and I've got like thousands of comments. And it was just a video of me reacting, which is what made me want to start doing reacting. Because I was like, dang, if I get 1.3 million on this, then, you know, let's do it. But then, like, I make my content videos and my clips and stuff like that, and then, you know, it's just not the same. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? You know? But, I mean, the clip that I made was, like, kind of like rage. Not kind of. It was rage bait. So it definitely got people talking. But I don't know. I just don't want to be a rage baiter all the damn time, you know? So I don't know. I just got to, it's back to the drawing board. It's possible. I've achieved it. Now I just got to find a formula that I'm more comfortable with and then see if that works. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you can keep telling people that, but it doesn't make them want to vote. Yeah. Big surprise. Telling people that they're trash in their nature is a very bad thing to get them to agree with you. Yeah, it really just doesn't work. And it's really funny for me to see this because it seems like they still haven't learned. Isn't it basically misogynistic, but against men? It's misandrist. That's the term.
Yeah, that is the term.
Is. It literally is. It's actually just that simple.
Vote for my team, by the way. We may not want to hear it, but this is what the data reflects. There is a massive loneliness epidemic in this country, which is disproportionately affecting men. Instead of calling them incels or mocking them, we should be willing to hear out their concerns. Wow.
Look. I've told so many people this. I'm not an incel. I just don't want any hoes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could get some girls, but those girls, I'm just like, nah, and I don't want you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and that's also another thing. Like, a lot of people would think that I'm like getting a little TMI right now. But a lot of people would think that I'm like, that I would, since I'm a guy, that I would have like a high sex drive and all that stuff. Dude, I don't care about sex anymore, dude. Like, I want to be a family man. That's what I want. I just want a loyal woman, be a family man, go to work, come home to a happy, loving family. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's, you know, anything extra, like, that's just extra crap, dude. No, I get it, bro. It's nothing you're doing wrong. My best video was from a clip when I first started streaming, and it was like 1.2K. Now I'm making tutorial videos, and this last one, one view. The one before has 33. It takes time. Yeah, the algorithm it gets weird. Now I get that. The one I've been with for 11 years. Before then, I was a hoe. Yeah, just just hoeing out is just not. And I don't have kids either. So, I mean, I'm lucky there. Like, I'm very lucky. But, yeah, man.
True. Very true. And by the way, if you don't hear out their concerns, that's totally fine. They'll find somebody else that does. And then once there's enough of them, they control all the branches of government, and then they take away abortion. Surprise! Haha! Gotcha, bitch!
A surprisingly good
That's
tweet
what
in
happens.
a sea of bullshit.
What do you expect?
That's nice to see. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming you're a straight white man. So yeah, go do something about it. Why are you guys bothering the rest of us with this? I can't figure it out.
The rest of us, isn't it a white guy? I mean, I feel like that's a white guy.
No, he's like, if anything, probably half black, half Hispanic, or definitely has Hispanic in him. Like, look, let me.
And by
why are you guys bothering the rest of us?
Oh yeah, that's Hispanic right there. Look at that. Look at that jawline, that beard. Maybe a little Asian in him, a little bit. But yeah, no, that's not white.
With this, I can't figure it out.
The rest of us, isn't it a white guy? I mean, I feel like that's a white guy.
I would like for Democrats.
That's a white guy. I mean, that's plain as day.
To win the.
What is that, Jimmy Garoppolo? Look at that. Just a white Jimmy Garoppolo.
Election. Why do you care about men suffering?
Whiter.
Because I want
you want to win, obviously.
to win the election.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. This is the issue right here. Start seeing men as people and not numbers in polls. That is step one. You can't even do step one. Anyway, there were thousands of these kind of tweets in response to this guy.
Oh, now after the election has been over.
Hispanic or heavy Spaniard blood, yeah.
Every single time that I look at Twitter, it's like some person who's mad about the election talking about how they're going to do something bad to a person who has a different political opinion than them. And I want to say, like, if you want to do that, go ahead and do it. But don't be surprised when it happens back to you. And it will.
Get it? We've seen it all before. If I went through all of them, this video would be 3 hours long. White dudes for Harris wasn't the only strange attempt the Democrats threw out at the last second to get the male vote.
Hey, white dudes. So I think we're all pretty sick of hearing how much we suck. Every time you go online, it's the same story. We're the problem. And yeah, some white dudes are. Trump and all his MAGA buddies are out there making it worse.
What kind of shit is this? Yeah, some white dudes suck, but be one of the good ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's with the New York accent, by the way, or Boston accent? What is that? Some white dudes suck. But not all of us. And Trump and his buddies over there are making it look a lot worse. Be one of us. Be one of the good ones. Like, come on, bro.
They thought this was going to work. Be one of the good ones. Man, I remember when Republicans tried to do that for black people for a long time. That worked really well, didn't it? Didn't that work really well? Oh, yeah.
That ad came from, I believe, the New York Democratic Caucus. Yeah, probably. But also, I'm pretty sure they wanted to make the dude sound manly. And what's manlier than a New Yorker?
Are you kidding me? Years of these people saying men suck and are the problem, and now they're like, hey, fellow men, are you sick of being told you suck and are the problem? The audacity. Apparently, Kamala Harris has a secret weapon to win over male voters.
Kamala Harris is turning to her running mate, Tim Walz,
hoping
Oh, Tim Walz, yes. Yes, the guy that says, I'm friends with school shooters. Oh, yeah. Wasn't he friends with that one dude that shot that Democratic politician and killed that Democratic politician? And then they try to blame it on like, yep, it's a MAGA guy. But the dude had like Democratic flyers all up in his back car. Yeah, that dude was part of Tim Walz's like political ring. Crazy.
he is the secret weapon who can chip away at Donald Trump's support from men.
Much like how Trump chose Pence to win over the more establishment Republican voters, Kamala seems to have chosen Tim Walz to try.
Yeah, it looks like Walz is very familiar with a bunch of shooters, apparently.
Try and win over the white male vote. And boy, are they trying. Now, I don't hate Tim.
I think Tim Walz is definitely more likable than Kamala Harris, but that bar is on the floor and you need the shovel to go under it. I think that he's definitely more likable for sure, but it's just, yeah, he's their token white guy. Yeah, exactly.
The token white guy.
Walz. In fact, I was pleasantly surprised when they chose him over Josh Shapiro. I like a lot of his policies.
To be fair, I don't think Walz was the dude that. Well, actually, Walz did say we need to bully Trump back. I don't know, man. I'm not getting into that today, though. I'm not getting into that today.
Policies like his universal school lunch policy. That's an amazing policy. You'd have to be an insane freak to disagree with that.
It was very well received.
Or a libertarian. But I repeat myself. And there were a few times where he was speaking where I completely forgot he was running to be Kamala's VP and not president himself. And he actually brought a lot of energy to the Democratic stage for once.
He did.
So what the f was this? Putting out a bunch of ads of Tim Walz changing the air filter in a car, clumsily shooting a gun, and drawing a political football play-by-play. Trotting out—
Damn. Man things. Fix your car. Go hunting. In football.
Walz like some kind of minstrel show of a white man.
I didn't say it, she said it. Okay? Yep, I did. Hey. Yep. But everybody was thinking that.
Like a man dressing up like a man for Halloween. You don't gotta do all this, bro, I promise you. And they don't shy away about how that's exactly what they are trying to do. Tim Walz is clearly a Midwest man's man, but he's the antidote to toxic MAGA masculinity.
Oh God.
Despite his typically masculine resume as a Midwestern football coach and veteran, Walz is utilizing those qualities to push forward a more progressive, compassion-based form of masculinity.
I feel like in a lot of cases, like this is like kind of true, but it just comes off as so performative and fake that I don't think that people buy into it. Like, for example, I think if Tim Walz was running by himself, like, there's a reason, like, he's the governor, right? Like, so he's won an election before. So
yeah, but it was a statewide election, right? So American election, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, it's not like this guy isn't popular, but if you contextualize it around like the, like National Democratic Party, then you have a totally different.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger won an election before. The Californian election. That doesn't mean he's qualified to win presidency,
Situation.
Being a vice president is understanding that you are just that. Someone who is there to aid and support the president. Walz simply being
or even a vice president
there on the ticket with a woman and taking a back seat to his running mate, Vice President Kamala Harris, is him embracing his leadership role in a positive, masculine way. Football coach and cheer.
It's positively masculine whenever you take a back seat to a woman. Like, I don't really understand like how. Like, I mean, how do you expect to, like, tell that to somebody and then have them be like, yeah, this sounds great. Like, come sign me up. It's so condescending. It is. It's crazy.
Cheerleader. How Tim Walz is defining masculinity. Amy Deal, a sexism researcher and author of the 2023 book Glass Walls,
called a bullshit
told
job.
USA Today that men like Walls who are intentional about rejecting traits and beliefs commonly dubbed as toxic masculinity are the tonic to harmful stigma associated with expectations of men and boys.
The thing is that a lot of this is actually true, which is kind of funny. Like, for example, like, what is my best example of masculinity? Well, it would be Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, so it's like, it's...
Yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah.
Definitely not Andrew Tate or one of these other, like, alpha males, right? Absolutely not. So, like, a lot of this is true. It just comes off as performative and fake.
Bit of a hot take. I am actually a fan of Andrew Tate. Not gonna lie. I think he's hilarious. I think he's fucking hilarious.
Boys. He shows you can be masculine, but also not threatened by women as equals or women who are in positions of power. In fact, you can be cheerleaders for them. Notice the common theme here. Taking a back seat. Cheerleading. Like 5 different articles I read specifically use this word cheerleading. Even a few about
it's taking a back seat, doing what you're told. Give me a sec. Hello? I also my dad, guys. It's also my dad.
Oh, his dad is the poster boy for masculinity. Asmongold's dad. Asmongold's dad, everybody. There we go. Let's get a round of applause for the man.
I was talking about movies, but yeah, I'm also referring to my dad as well. Was that good? As a masculine model. Okay, good. I'll talk to you later. Okay, thanks. All right, bye. Okay. Oh, boy. Right.
Kamala Harris's husband, Doug. God knows we need an antidote for all the lousy men in the news, and I think I found one. A lovable goofball who is...
The lousy men in the news. Hold on now.
Husband, Doug.
God knows we need an antidote for all the lousy men in the news. I think they found one. Or I think I've found one. I mean, just think about this like shoe on the other foot. What if this is a man, right? What if this is a man and he wrote an article that says, God knows we need an antidote for all the lousy women in the news. And I think I found one. Or let's take it a step further. Like what if this is a man, a white man, and it says, oh, God knows we need an antidote for all the lousy Mexican men in the news. All the lousy black men in the news, black women in the news, Mexican women in the news. Like, I mean, the list goes on, you know? And this lady gets crickets. That's crazy talk, dude. That's crazy talk.
Knows we need an antidote for all the lousy men in the news, and I think I found one. A lovable goofball who is happy to...
I just, like... Can you think about how bad it would sound if, like, God knows we need an antidote for all the lousy women in the news or all the lousy black people in the news, and I think I found one? Like, or all the lousy Latinos in the news or Jews in the news? Like, can you think about how bad that would sound? People would be losing their fucking mind. And so, like, and this is the issue that these people have, is that what they should do is they need to, before they write an article like this, they need to replace men with women or another minority group, and then think, would this sentence offend me? And if the answer is yes, then don't put men in there either. And the problem, again, is that these people think that they have...
but they got to push that narrative. That's the narrative that they're trying to push, though. So, of course, they're going to be like, would this offend me? You're goddamn right it offends me. Let's put it in there. What, the opposite of me?
A moral mandate that, like, well, I should because it's true. It's true. So that's the way I see the world. That's the way it is. So if I say, like, I have, but that's true. It's just again, if you like losing elections, this is what you should do.
A lovable goofball who is happy to cheerlead for his wife, the Vice President of the U.S. Thank God for Doug Emhoff. Successful guys can support their wives and be respected. You don't have to be the quarterback to play the game at an elite level. Emhoff and his breed of dudes who are giving it their best shot
The dudes part is
may
like,
never be as come hither to lost young men as the militant Andrew Tate models of manhood, but they are out there, and, not unlike good husbands, will appear when they are needed. From the
Not unlike good I don't even understand what that means.
outside looking in.
What?
The right promises young men a return to the good times of the glorious past. You know, the one your grandfather had. The Coca-Cola ad rose-tinted version of the past. Back when you can afford a house and support a family on one income. While the left, which historically, in my opinion, had the policies to make that happen, are instead trying to sell men a vision of the future.
Yeah, sure.
And well, the future is female. A future where
if you have all the shirts that say the future is female and having male representation, or like, you know, you need female, it's just like, again, it's like the emperor's new clothes. Like, everybody can see this. It's so fucking obvious to any young guy that this is happening. And they're just trying to pretend like it's not real. It's unbelievable. I don't even know what to say.
You're no longer playing the game, men. You're on the sidelines being a cheerleader. Doesn't that just sound so exciting? Like, what the hell is going on inside these DNC consultant meetings? I really gotta know. Does anyone have any ideas on how to appeal to young men? And please, for the love of God, do not say we have to offer them anything or change in any way. I got it. What? Camo hats. We did that. Vasectomy bus. We did that. Have you perhaps tried nagging them? Yes, we've been doing that.
Yeah, that's why they're voting for Trump.
You know that whole male loneliness epidemic thing? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Oh, yeah.
A really nice place. Have you been here before?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite spots. I bring everybody here.
I said it says I didn't vote.
Go on a lot of dates, but
wow.
Paid for by Harris for president. And this about a bitch. You know that crazy, mentally unstable chick? Don't you want to keep her around, dude? Don't you? I mean, you need a chick. Go ahead and vote. Vote for Harris. Keep that crazy, unstable chick around. Your life will be better for it. That's wild, dude.
Oh.
Dude. Oh my goodness. Just emotionally unstable. That's just I had one of those. That's why I'm reacting so big to this.
Wow, what a great advertisement. So what if you accidentally are dating a emotionally unstable crazy bitch? Don't you want to keep her around?
Yo.
No, not really.
Oh my God, dude.
Hey men, if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, women won't you.
Yeah.
Which is like also what's really funny about this is that
the funny thing about this though, for sure, is that they always want, or women always say that, like, oh, we're not sex objects. Don't look at us as sex objects. We're not usable objects. You always what's it objectifying. Thank you. I'm saying thank you like somebody answered me. It was me. It was me in my head that answered me. Yeah. women don't like to be objectified, right? But then they're like, hey, let's objectify women. You know, it's so wild, dude. I don't get it. The hypocrisy on this is just, it's crazy. Oh my God. I see this one comment right here. It says, don't see us as sex objects, but we will use it as currency. Yeah, that's, yeah. And the funny thing is, they already don't. They don't have sex with men anyway. So this is just a blind lie right here.
There's a lot of women that voted for Trump too. It's like this whole thing where it's like, oh, women don't vote. It's not even true. Yes, it's just stupid.
Young men should know that if you vote for Trump, you're basically never going to get laid.
This dude doesn't even get laid. Look at him. To be honest, he looks like me in about 20-25 years. But that's besides the point, chat. That's besides the fucking point. Leave me alone. But I wouldn't say no shit like this. This is stupid.
Okay. Here's the problem. A lot of them already aren't getting laid.
Yeah.
So you can't lose something you didn't have. Nothing changes.
I mean, is it incorrect?
Trump gives girls the ick. Vote Harris, get laid. Isn't this borderline prostitution? I mean, technically speaking, wouldn't that be prostitution?
Gives girls the ick. Vote Harris, get laid. I love how she blocks out the person who this is, but everybody knows who this is. Everybody knows it. I mean, is it incorrect? I didn't think so. Yeah.
Don't think so. Trump gives girls the ick. Vote Harris, get
I'm going to be honest. I think that if I was around a girl that got like what was called the ick, I would be considering myself lucky.
Yeah. Dodged a bullet, I would say.
Because I just avoided a ticking time bomb.
Mm-hmm.
It is a emotionally unstable, completely illogical thing that happens that shouldn't be taken seriously.
Indubitably. Yes.
This whole idea that like women are like these emotional babies that need to be like coddled and protected, and you need to act in certain ways so they don't get upset or like get mad. Like you're basically treating them like children. And the fact is that like there are a lot of women that don't think like this. They don't act like this. You just talk to them like normal people and everything is going to be fine. Who says that? All of these commercials are all saying this. It's just crazy.
Laid. They are not beating the pretending to be progressive to get laid allegations with this one. Literally just
endorsed. By the way, I do think guys do that.
Yeah,
I absolutely think that guys do that.
There's so many dudes that virtual signal just to get laid or get attention or anything like that.
They'll mask their political beliefs in order to get girls that are.
I mean, hell, there's a bunch of streamers that do that too. They mask their political beliefs. They just simply say like, "Oh, I'm not political." But there's so many people. There's so many streamers, like even big ones that are conservative, but they're just like, "No, I'm good." You know what I'm saying? I mean, there are a lot of streamers that are faking it to make it right now. And if it works for them, it works for them. I just can't do it. I can't fake it to make it. I would feel just ingenuine. You know, I wouldn't feel like me. But, you know, there are a lot of people that do it, you know, because they're trying to make it, you know. But I know that there is a lot of people that you know, that do make it, but they have to be like super far out, right wing, like total, you know, ridiculous. And I tried it for like a week, you know, and I don't know if I don't know if I can get that unhinged. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I can, but just being like a, like what would they call it? Like neutral right, alt right, or something like that. I mean, I guess I can get down with that, you know.
Very politically motivated or like have strong beliefs to like hook up with them. Yeah, 100% they do. Absolutely.
Woke fishing when men pretend to be more progressive on dating apps to get laid. Do not do this, by the way. Be open and honest about your opinions, and no, you cannot fix them. Also, pretty weird and like low-key sexist to imply like women are some prize for voting the correct way. Hey, and if all else...
Yeah, that's all. It's always a good thing whenever women who are against objectification commodify their bodies as a reward for doing some sort of action, like it's a payment. But, you know, hey, well, totally normal.
Yeah. Acceptable.
Bells, go after the Gooner vote.
Oh! Sorry, you can't do that.
What the hell, man? How'd you get in here?
I'm your Republican congressman. Now that we're in charge, we're banning porn nationwide.
It is really funny because of how stupid it is.
Yeah.
It is. That's perfect.
I'm sorry. I love this ad. The one time they speak to men directly, and it's, hey men, the Republicans are gonna take away one of the only vices you use to numb the pain. So
That's
vote
right.
for us. Bleak. Just the absolute state of the world right now. Also, was that Germa? Believe it or not, this wasn't the worst of it.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
This was crazy.
Oh,
like,
wow.
It's actually insane how ideologically captured they are by identity politics.
I was just talking about this earlier. Yeah. Their identity politics are their big thing, and it just makes them look even more racist. It's ridiculous.
Unbelievable to me that they just keep, it's like the stop hitting yourself thing. You just can't stop talking about this, fixating on it, thinking about it. It's unbelievable. Like, I actually, as I said, I thought that the woke mind virus was like a stupid term. But after seeing how these people literally cannot think of anything other than demographics and identity, I'm starting to take it a lot more seriously. Because it literally feels like it's some sort of like a spell or something like that. Like some sort of like collective delusion.
I'm a man, man.
And I'm man enough. I'm man enough to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon.
Neat.
Man enough.
Look at how he's sitting, man. Look at how he's sitting. Man enough my ass, bro.
Enough to cook my steak rare. You think I'm afraid to rebuild
Why is eating your steak rare or being a man?
carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
He eats carburetors for breakfast, guys. I believe it.
I'll tell you another thing.
I could believe that.
God.
I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
When I first saw this, I thought it was a parody created.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know what to say. Like, why rare? Yeah, why would a guy be afraid? It's just like
rare and medium rare is like the steak that it preferred, like that men prefer to eat. It's that rubbery, well done bullshit that we don't like.
Oh my God.
By Republicans to make fun
Yeah.
of how hard the Democratic Party is trying to pander to men to get their vote. But alas.
I love women.
I love women who support their families.
Women who decide not to have families.
Women who take charge.
And I'm man enough to help them.
Look at how he's fucking sitting, bro. Man enough my ass. Fraudulent.
Win.
Everything from them direct.
Oh my God. I just I can't even play out what an advertisement like this would be for minorities. Like, think about the parallels that you could do for a minority group. Oh my God. Oh my fuck. That would be so fucking bad.
Towards men has to have like this tone of irony or self-deprecation. They can't even do it sincerely. But apparently white men aren't the only demographic Kamala is struggling with.
This is the Democratic margin among black men under the age of 45 in presidential elections. You go back to November of 2012, what do you see? You see Obama by 81. Clinton only won him by 63. Then we're all the way down to Biden last time around by 53. A tremendous drop already.
Has it ever occurred to you that maybe the reason why more people voted for Obama is because he was a better candidate? Has it ever occurred that maybe the reason why...
I mean, I do gotta say, I definitely would have taken Obama over McCain. I definitely would have taken Obama over who the fuck was it? Dude, who was it? It was McCain and then fuck, dude, I forgot. Was it Romney? Was it Mitt Romney? I think it was Mitt Romney. But Mitt Romney was LDS though. So now I think I probably would have voted for. Wait, was it Mitt Romney that was LDS? Yeah, I think now I probably would have voted Mitt Romney. Just because the LDS bias, but I can't even remember what his political points were though. I don't know.
Why there's a change in voting is actually because of the people that are running. Like,
just look. 81, 63, 53, 41. Dude. And that's the black vote. Why, dude? Why? 18 to 44. Why you gotta say it's the black men vote? Look at this. Black men, black women. It's the American vote.
Like, I don't know. I mean,
what? By Hezbollah drone in one of bloodiest attacks. That's just one of the what is it called? Whatever. That's just one of the headlines under it. That's crazy.
No, that's not it. Right, okay. It's my identity.
And then you take a look at the average of the most recent polls, and Kamala Harris is up by only 41 points.
Democrats deployed their ultimate weapon, Barack Obama. At a campaign stump for Harris on Thursday in Pittsburgh, Obama said that despite Harris raising upward of $1 billion, we have yet to see the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running.
That's because you were a better candidate.
Yeah.
Do you think Barack Obama would come up and say good morning 6 times in a row and how are we doing 4 times in a row? No. He didn't talk like a fucking idiot. It's just...
It's true, yeah. Obama did not talk like an idiot. He did talk a little weird at times. But I don't know, that's just how he talked. At least that's how it appeared he talked. However, yeah, I did not like how Kamala talked. And her laugh is so annoying, too. She was just a straight up bullshitter, dude.
It's so fucking obvious. How is anybody even thinking about this? Yeah, there's no twerking about it. It says, yeah, it's... Also, people knew Kamala a lot less. Sure. This Obama called black men misogynists. I don't know about that. I didn't watch it. I'm just saying in general, right? Like, whenever he was running for president, people liked him a lot because he represented a lot of the view. Like, he was like against the war in Iraq, and like he wanted to move the troops to come back. It didn't happen.
Yeah, it
but
did
like
not happen.
That's what he ran on, and so of course people were supportive of that. Absolutely, they were. That's why people are blaming the fact that Kamala is a woman. Well, I mean, even if you compare like her numbers to Hillary Clinton, who also was a woman, like it's just at a certain point. Maybe instead of blaming, like, it's like they're basically blaming every single thing that they can't control, except for the one thing that they can, which is their message.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be our message. There has to be some sort of, like, existential reason that we can't control that we can complain about so we can displace accountability over to that.
Energy, he added, appears, quote, to be more pronounced with the brothers. You're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that, he said, because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman for president, and you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's probably the case. There's a lot of guys that don't want to vote for a woman for president because they're like, oh, what if she gets on her period and then she decides to nuclear bomb Canada?
Okay, not Canada. That's a bit of a stretch. Or what about the men? It's like, what, a woman? I've been married about 25 years. Hell no. Like, fuck.
Absolutely. Like, I can fucking promise you that there are tons of guys out there that are like, you think I want to vote for a woman? My girlfriend is crazy. I've been married to a woman 15 years. Oh my God. Nope.
Yo.
That's crazy. No, but that's it. And like, what they don't understand is that, of course, this is going to happen. Absolutely, it's going to happen. It's the same as women that vote for her because she's a woman. Absolutely. Like, I can guarantee you that there were probably millions of women who, if all other variables were the same and Kamala Harris wasn't a woman, they probably wouldn't have gone out to vote. Absolutely, women are going to exhibit, it's called own group bias. And as far as I know, my understanding is that women have a very high ratio of doing it, much higher than men. It's like a 5-to-1 ratio.
Once again, their only tactic seems to be getting in a man's face and going, tisk tisk bad boy. Like a dog that just peed on the carpet. It's not 2014 anymore, Brock. Nobody cares about sexism, motherfucker. We can't afford groceries. What's crazy is, as far as I know, Kamala
I think it's actually nobody cares about sexism, and they are sexist and they're not sorry.
Yeah.
Because I think that there absolutely are a lot of people that are genuinely sexist, and you're just, like, the shaming for having certain viewpoints has just been diminished and damaged because of so many times that people have cried wolf and there really wasn't a wolf. Like, for example, like Gamergate was about hating women. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I have no idea what was going on about the Gamergate.
It was about game reviewers getting money and getting preferential treatment for giving reviews for games. And like trying to turn it into, oh, it was about hating women. No, that had nothing to do with it. Like, they tried to turn it into that, but at the end of the day, it just becomes less effective every single time. Overused terms use all credibility. They have. Absolutely, they have.
Self has never played the woman card. She has never played the sexism card. In fact, she actively pushes against it.
You've been reluctant to lean into, to talk about the historic nature of your candidacy on the campaign trail. Why is that? Well, I'm clearly a woman. I don't need to point that out to anyone.
I actually thought this was one of the respectable good things that Kamala Harris did, is that a lot of the messaging for her being like a woman or a minority was done by other people and not her herself. And I
wait a minute. What kind of an answer was that? I'm clearly a woman. What's that mean, Kamala? What does that mean?
I think this is a point.
What do you mean by that?
That I think that, you know, compare F. Oh, no, it's a weird Twitch thing. I think it's...
I'm reaching, but at least I'm admitting I'm reaching. But I'm also proving a point at the same time.
It's very respectable that she did that.
But the point that most people really care about is, can you do the job? And do you have a plan to actually focus on them?
I was proud.
Yeah, she's completely right. Absolutely.
It's like they finally learned from Hillary Clinton's failure, but that didn't stop the media or Barack Obama from doing it for her. Thanks, Obama. For oldie Zoomers, thanks, Obama was a meme in like
2008. It's pretty funny. Still kind of holds today. Well, for people of our generation, anyway.
Yeah,
2008.
It was a long time ago.
It was funny back then. That would have slapped. While I was writing this video, Kamala and Gretchen.
How old is she, dude? Because she looks like she's like on the younger side, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
Whitmore were getting ready to film a video at a bar together when Kamala was apparently.
Actually, I'm gonna take a look at that right now. Hold on, just give me a second. She's 34. She's my fucking age, dude. She does not look 34. That's wild, dude. 1991, June 22. I'm older than her. I like a month and a half or some shit. Dude, that's crazy. I had no idea. I thought she was younger. Good on her, dude. That's what's up.
Hold on, hot mic saying this.
Yeah. Oh, we have microphones and listening to everything. I didn't realize that. Okay. So, well,
You'll
now
bleep
you tell
my
us.
F words.
We just told all the family secrets. Shit.
We need to move ground with men, so what we're gonna do is pretend.
See, if she talked like that all the time, she probably would have had a much better chance of winning. You talk like a fake, psychotic bitch. Nobody wants to vote for the Joker.
To drink beer at a bar. Men like beer, right?
Cheers.
Just talk about policy. Just be yourself. Just listen to men and what they want. Kamala, all you gotta do is talk. Actually, no, now that I think about it, that might make it worse.
All you gotta do is talk.
Put Tim Walz out there, okay? Let Tim Walz do the talking. Don't dress him up as a man. You want to know how to speak to men? Go to where they are. A good place to speak to young men is the Joe Rogan podcast.
It's so funny that it's being discussed as to whether or not Kamala Harris not going on the Joe Rogan podcast was...
Okay, this right here makes me feel a lot better than like when I have like the little space right here in my tooth, because it looks like she's missing a tooth there, but then when she fully smiles, it's like the little canine freaking tooth or whatever the hell it's called.
Is damaging for her career. I think that's so fucking funny.
That is quite hilarious. Because, yeah, obviously Trump did the Joe Rogan podcast, and yeah, he wants to get that young man vote, and, you know, he did it, but Kamala didn't do it. And what's funny is that, yeah, that could have very well might have been the changing point for young men, for the young men's vote. But she can't hold on a conversation for more than what? 45 minutes, but those Joe Rogan podcasts, those are like 2 or 3 hours, right? Sometimes even longer.
Yep.
I hinted at going on, but then that never happened, and instead
Joe Rogan flipped the election. The crazy thing is that like there were people that were like interviewing guys at the at these college campuses, and they were like, "So why? Who are you gonna vote for?" "Oh, I'm gonna go. We're gonna go with Trump." "Why?" "Well, I watched Joe Rogan, and he was on there, and you know, I mean, it was pretty good."
It was pretty good.
Why didn't Kamala go on there? I don't know. Probably because she lying about everything. Yeah, I mean, really, it actually was a factor. Must have been a good point. She could bullshit for 45 minutes, but 2 and 3 hour shows the real you. She only wanted to do 45 minutes. Elon Musk impacted it the most. Yeah, I think he probably did. That's probably true.
Dude, what is up with me today? I'm freaking killing it.
Trump went on, and that episode hit like 20 million views in a day. But like, can you blame her? Joe Rogan
Actually, how many views did it get? Okay, it's all the way down here.
46 million views. Wow.
46 million views just on YouTube. Man. Plus 100 million on X? Yeah. Oh my God.
100 million on it? Well, yeah, okay.
It's just one of the most popular podcasts in the world with a majority young male audience.
Which, by the way, I do want to say that a impression on X is worth less than a view on YouTube. This is like a social media thing where like a view is an active engagement, whereas an impression is like just that you have.
It's just like you scrolled past it and you stopped by for like a couple seconds, whatever, and then just kept scrolling, you know.
Seen it. So that's why I didn't want to compare those two numbers. YouTube even hit it from trending. Maybe, I don't know.
It's just one of the most popular podcasts in the world with a majority young male audience. I hate it here. Every time this topic comes up, so does the topic of like Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson, internet algorithms, Gamergate, whatever.
There is a massive amount of right-wing radicalization that has been
right-wing radicalization
occurring, especially in younger male spaces. Any hobbies whatsoever, whether it's playing video games, whether it's working out.
By the way, Hassan is right about all of this.
Whether it's, I don't know.
This is all... Okay, so the thing about this was back when Asman was trying to be nice to Hassan because Hassan has big connects with the owner of Twitch, right? So he's trying to glaze to Hassan, even though Hassan has done nothing but hate on Asmongold. But he's just trying to play ball. He's trying to play his chess moves. But now, Asman don't give a fuck about Hassan now. Gloves are off now. With this, the gloves are off now.
No, listening to like a history podcast or whatever. Everything that they see is right-wing sentiment being expressed by individuals that they find charismatic.
But you can only blame internet.
So the reason why he's right might not be necessarily like what he's trying to say. I think that it's a chicken and the egg scenario where the content that's popular is right wing because this right wing content more accurately reflects the way that people see the world and the way that guys feel. So it's not that there's a bunch of right-wing content that's brainwashing people to be racist or to be Nazis. It's that there's a lot of guys that feel disenfranchised and
that feel disconnected from everyone else because men are treated like shit recently. For the past few years now.
Content that's being deemed as right-wing is content that reflects what their viewpoints are. So it's like, and this is kind of the way that like content right? No, that's really how it is. Joe Rogan isn't right-wing, it's the right one. Well, I think that it's definitely true that there are a lot of young guys that are extremely attracted by right-wing content. And I think Hassan is right by identifying that. It's very clearly a trend, and I think that the election proves that trend to be true. But why is that trend happening? I think the trend is not happening because content creators are right-wing. I think the trend is happening because people are right-wing and content creators are adapting to that, or content creators that have those same viewpoints are being elevated because those viewpoints are shared with a large audience. That's what's happening. Do you see kind of what I'm saying? The trend, men have always been more conservative than women. Yeah, but it's becoming more the case. Alex Jones accepted being press secretary? Let's finish this video first.
Algorithms for much for so long. This automatic assumption that any dissent from liberal mainstream thought could only be caused by manipulation or brainwashing from podcasters is honestly
it's a vicious cycle. And I think that the cycle begins with people that are looking for content that respects them. And when you create content that respects a person and tells them that their opinions and their beliefs that they have
actually matter,
are not racist, evil, or bad, they're going to be like, yeah, I agree with you. And there's a lot of guys that feel disenfranchised, and I think that really, like, a lot of these like right-wing places do a much better job at appealing to them. That's really the truth.
A cope, in my opinion, and just an easy excuse for failing to reach anyone beyond your own subreddit. As if this all wasn't the result of like a stagnant neoliberal corpo.
Well, I honestly think that the reason why there's a lot of
really just want to listen to her talk, dude,
of right-wing podcasts and stuff is,
I guess I should have just went to the actual video.
It's because there's a lot of guys that are looking for it. The popularity of the podcasts is precipitated by the fact that there's a lot of people that feel this way. It's not that the podcasts are making them feel this way. It's that the podcasts are elevated by a lot of people that already do feel this way.
Hell world that created a vacuum that was just waiting to be filled with any kind of populism. The crazy thing is the Democratic Party did have a candidate who successfully spoke to the demographic that...
What are you talking about, Bernie?
They are currently trying so hard to reach.
Bernie?
His name was Bernie Sanders. And every time he did speak to that demographic or say he was
they were referred to as the Bernie bros, and they were demonized.
Yeah, it's true. Bernie kind of got fucked out of that whole situation. But Bernie's a communist, though. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, during the whole Trump, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders thing, I was totally pro Bernie, but I was also like in my early 20s and didn't know shit about politics. But I mean, I was kind of just leveling with Bernie more on that. I fuck with Bernie ever since the OK Boomer Girl made that TikTok. What's up, Dante? The OK Boomer Girl made that. If the hoes support Bernie, then I'm with Bernie too.
Yeah.
Learned that the Democratic Party didn't do enough to speak to that demographic. He was called a sexist, a racist. He was backstabbed multiple times and cheated out of winning the Democratic primaries.
Twice.
His fans were called...
Yeah, that was crazy that he was called racist because he stood with, he stood for black people, like, even in the 60s or some shit like that.
Bernie bros and constantly berated as sexist.
Made me finally realize misogyny in America.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I wonder what this girl is writing about today. Maybe nothing. She's in therapy now.
Yeah, she probably lost her job, dude.
His campaign was too white and too male, and this apparently was a top priority to remedy in...
Yeah, we've got to fix this. Well, here's the thing. They did. How about that? They fixed the glitch.
Future campaigns. We were told he was just like Trump and, quote, appealed to angry white men. Well, who's trying to appeal to angry white men now, bitch? It's almost like Bernie's hyper-focus on working class issues.
See, this is kind of what I was saying before. I was talking about this with, like, video games and, like, woke video games about how it doesn't matter whether you think that your message in the game should be there or not. If you put a product out to market and people don't buy the product, then...
Well, there you go. Maybe that's just not what you need to fucking do.
You go out of business.
Yep.
It does.
And hey, with all these woke games coming out and so many game developers letting go a bunch of their game developers, or game developing companies letting go a bunch of their game developing studios and shit like that. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Doesn't matter whether you were right or wrong. You're out of business. You're done. Everybody's fired. The building's foreclosed. The studio gets sold.
Yep.
You're finished.
Yep.
It doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong. It matters whether what you're doing is working or not working. And these people are so attached and like so captured by their ideals and their morality that, by the way, is totally distorted. But even so, they're so captured by it that they are completely unable to see anything other than the entirely very, very narrow lens of the world that they see everything through. Does it matter if you're right or left? Yeah, sure. Concording is such a good word. Yeah, exactly. Appealing to people is what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Issues, bread and butter issues, and populism was naturally attractive to men. No football or beer required. I miss him. And you know what? Maybe this shift with young men has less to do with who's holding the football and more of what happens when the DNC spends all their time and energy trashing the little bit of populism in their movement. And if you ask me, handing conservatives a monopoly on anti-establishment rhetoric on a silver platter was probably their first mistake. They kind of gave up on that bread and butter New Deal.
Well, you can't really say that you're the establishment when every single person that has a mainstream media television show has the same viewpoints that you do. Like every late night talk show host is doing a monologue about how Kamala Harris should win the presidency. You can't talk about how you're not the mainstream when you have all of these A-list celebrities getting together to collectively condemn people that vote for Donald Trump. Like it's
yeah, and it still didn't even work.
It's very obvious that this is
still not working.
Is the majority opinion of people.
Because now it's not to not vote for Donald Trump. Now it's to impeach Trump, and it's still not working.
People that are part of the establishment. And just because there's a large contingency of people on the internet who don't represent that doesn't mean that the establishment...
Might I add you, they are actors. So they are bots.
Isn't working tooth and nail to try to fight that from happening. Look at how much they tried to demonize and like demonetize and kick Joe Rogan off of Spotify. Think about how much they're trying to stop free speech on Twitter or X. Think about how much before Elon Musk bought Twitter or X, how much they did stop free speech on there, how much they tried to control things with COVID.
Yeah, now you can say whatever you want on Facebook now, X, hell, even Instagram. You can say whatever you want on Instagram. Depending on the content creator, of course, because each content creator has their own per video or whatever. They set their own little privacy settings or not parental settings. Whatever. Terms and conditions or whatever. So, I mean, and that's fair, you know, but as a whole, like, having a whole company just monitor all that shit. Yeah, it's bullshit. But now you can pretty much say whatever you want. Free speech is back for the most part, as long as you're not, you know, saying something too unhinged. That's it. I'm putting on the... I don't know what that is.
How much they tried to control things with election misinformation. It's just so obvious. And any normal person...
I'm finna say something too unhinged.
And this is really what the problem is. It's that every reasonable, normal, average guy can see exactly what I'm talking about. So when you tell somebody that they can't see what's in plain sight directly in front of them, they're going to hate you for it. This is the reason why, like, theocracies usually fall with religion. It's because eventually people are tired of living a lie. They're tired of living their life according to a set of principles that they don't feel like represents them and that they have to actively forego their critical thought. It's literally Orwell? Yeah, it is. Well... Yeah, yes and no, right? But yeah, it's basically gaslighting. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, it's a form of it. Yeah.
Actually, no. No, it is Orwell. No, you're right. I don't know about that. No. Remember how like the like terrorism is peacekeeping and stuff like that, like all the different like phrases about how the the main party like controlled all the vocabulary. I think that if you look at it through that, this is like with 1984. Yeah, I actually think that's a good example. Sure. The doublespeak moments. Yeah.
Stuff for identity politics, and if you deny that.
What the fuck is Asmund saying?
That's a good example. Yeah, no, it is Orwell. No, you're right. And that they have to actively forego their critical thought. It's literally Orwell? Yeah, it is. Well,
I don't know what Orwell is, so I'm not too versed on what Orwell is.
A lie. They're tired of living their life according to a set of principles that they don't feel like represents them, and that they have to actively forego their critical thought.
So Orwell is a biologist. I don't know. George Orwell, the pen name of Eric Arthur. 1903, 1950, an English novelist, essayist, journalist, and critic, best known for his works in critiquing totalitarianism, social injustice, and political oppression. Okay, so Orwell's works explore themes of government overreach, propaganda, and the erosion of individual freedom, and the term Orwellian is often used to describe an oppressive, manipulative, or dystopian societal conditions resembling those in his novels. Nice job, Gonzo. You did not fail to misinformation. I was out here lying my ass off. I was about to say, bro, I was like, the biologist thing that doesn't make any fucking sense. I was like, how was that? But if I don't know anything, yeah, I'm gonna look it up. But yeah, totalitarianism, social injustice, and political oppression. Yeah. While you were at Grok, type what does muda mean in Serbian. No, I'm not gonna type that in. No, I don't want to type that in.
It's literally Orwell? Yeah, it is. Well, yeah.
Because I don't want that on my Grok history, motherfucker. I don't want it on my Grok history. If it's something bad, why don't you just tell me what it is?
Yes and no, right? But
because you are Serbian.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is, though? Yeah, but still. Well, then don't tell me. And I'm not going to search it. Tripping, Dante. Tripping.
It's basically gaslighting? Yeah, I would say so.
Into everyone's spaces and culturally
coming into Warhammer and saying there's not enough women in it.
Colonizing them. Change this, change that. I don't like this, I don't like that. It's just incredible for me to witness years of anti-male rhetoric finally come back to bite the left and Democrats in the ass.
And I think that also what's going to happen, like I remember I saw this tweet from old Nick Fuentes. He goes, "Your body, my choice, forever."
Oh, fuck, dude.
And now
Nick's a fuck, bro.
The thing is that now they won. And once somebody wins once, they're going to be like, well, wait a minute. Maybe we could do this and the other thing too. You know what? Where is this Project 2025 shit? Let me read this again. Cause like, yeah, now that you think, I mean, you know, like, let's actually think about this. He's not pro-Trump, Baldy. He's not pro-Trump, but
he was as soon as he won the election. He was like, we won it. Yeah. What do you mean this we shit?
As soon as Trump win, he goes like, we did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He spends all his time complaining about Trump, saying he's not going to vote for him. Finally, Trump wins, and he says, we did it.
Now that's a grifter right there.
Uh-huh, for sure.
These chickens come home to roost has just been both incredibly depressing and deliciously vindicating to me in a sick way, and I'm not sure if I should lend out a helping hand.
I voted for Trump, bro. I'm not ashamed. You can't vote. What are you talking about?
Or move.
I mean, you can't put in an American vote.
Fossa them off this fucking cliff. Some Democrats are nervous the party was too late to realize the problem. These Democrats worry that the party has focused too much on courting women voters, LGBTQ voters, and culturally progressive voters, alienating too many men in the process. There's a recognition that we're losing men.
Well, here's the thing. It's that if you use drag queens to promote a political message, that political message is going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Drag queens are not socially accepted by like average populations of people. Like if you go to Walmart and you find 5 random Walmart citizens,
Walmart citizens,
Walmart Americans,
what the fuck, Asmund?
They're probably all going to have the same reaction to a drag queen. And I think that we all know what that reaction is.
Things we're doing around men haven't been working. I think a lot of it
Walmartians
is a reaction to social progressivism done in the wrong way, says David Hogg. Young men, he says, feel like progressives look down on them for saying the wrong thing, even when it's a mistake. That discomfort is enough to drive them away from the Democratic Party.
Yeah, exactly. Why would somebody want to, like, it's very simple. It's like, when you're dealing with somebody who, have you guys ever been around somebody like,
I know my reaction to a drag queen. God damn it, Dante.
Because this is especially true with like toxic girlfriends. Have you ever been around like a girlfriend that like if you say something the wrong way, it like immediately activates her hard mode, like fucking like max difficulty, attack phase? You guys ever had this happen, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, do you understand like how like, you're like fucking like tiptoeing through pins and needles, like trying to avoid accidentally triggering her or like getting her mad?
The simple phrase is just called walking on eggshells, but yes.
That's exactly the reason why I think a lot of people push back against a lot of like quote woke stuff. It's because they don't want to have to walk on eggshells around people all the time.
There we go. You finally said it.
They don't want to have to take their words and filter them through 5 or 10 different, oh my God, what if people think that I'm saying this about this racial group of people or about women? It's basically, there's been a massive push, and this happens on social media all the time. There's been a massive push of taking what a person says and then extrapolating it to like its worst possible implication, and then treating that person as if the implication was their intent. It's not about trying to understand the other person's perspective. It's about using that other person as a stepping stool so you can stand on top of them and say, look at me, I'm more virtuous than they are. And so I think that's been a huge reason why a lot of people have pushed back against like, what you'd call like progressive, like woke, like activist stuff. It's because if somebody calls something else gay, because they used to call it that for like 30 years as like kids, especially in like the 2000s and the 90s.
Guilty.
That doesn't mean that they hate gay people. It doesn't mean that they're like homophobic or anything. And like, yeah, maybe it's not like a great thing to say, but when you treat a person that says that as if they're actually a homophobe or a bad person, you know what it makes them? It makes them a homophobe or a bad person. And fundamentally, people just don't want to be told what to do. They don't want to be told what to think. They don't want to have to walk on eggshells around people that are, in a lot of cases, I think, mentally unstable.
Yeah.
And they don't want to deal with it at all. And so it's an unfortunate colloquialism. Well, I mean, whatever you want to.
I ain't never called somebody gay. Dude, I call people gay still. It is day. It's just what I grew up on. Like, saying things are gay just practically just means lame. Like, oh, that sucks. Like, just at work last night, my buddy was just like, oh, hey, you have this product code unload to do. And I was like, what's that? And he's like, so pretty much you have to look through everything and then dig through it and then separate those product codes and then form their own palette and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, that's gay. And he's like, yeah, it is. And I was like, all right. But yeah, I just say it like in a form of like, that sucks, or quit being gay, you know, like quit being stupid, quit being lame, you know. You suck right now, you know.
I call it, right? Like, whatever term.
Damn, you are a savage, Gumbo. Bro, you haven't called me Gumbo in a minute. It's good to see that again. It's good to see that.
That, like, there are a lot of terms like this. Like, you could use, like, there's terms like, I didn't know tar baby was one that can be used as like as a derogatory term towards like black people. Like, growing up, like, this was like just a story, and like I used the term one time, people got really mad at me for it. And like, for me, like, I'm involved with controversies like this all the time. So I don't really care a lot about it. But like, I know that there are certain streamers that don't even want to have Starbucks on their screen because they're afraid that people might get mad because Starbucks is seen as being promoting and favorable towards Israel.
Yeah, that's stupid. That is so dumb. Like, I get like, respect your viewers and stuff like that, but once they start trying to control your show, your stream, then that's when I draw the line. Like, I remember there was this one, there was a transgender viewer, right? But then I had this one dude from, I think you know him. I think you've seen him around sometimes. His name is Kazar. And he just said like a trans joke or whatever. And I was like, ha ha ha. You know, I was like, all right, keep it cool. Because like I knew that transgender person was watching my stream, right? And so the transgender person, you know, got offended or whatever, and I was just like, yeah, Kazar, see, just gotta chill with that. We do have a transgender person. And then he cracked another joke, and then he was like, all right, that's it. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm doing the 3-strike rule, so those are 2 strikes. So if you say anything like that again, I'm gonna time you out. And then after I said that, then the transgender person said, no, if you don't ban him now, I'm gonna be leaving. And I got pissed because I was just like, look, I'm trying to keep things cool and respectful for you, but you don't have to come into my show, into my channel, and try to boss how I handle things in my stream. And I was like, so if you feel like you need to leave, then you can leave. I'm not keeping you here. And then I was just like, so I already told him if he says anything again, I'm gonna time him out. And I was just like, but if you're going to sit there and try to tell me to do something, you know, how to run my channel, that's what I'm not going to stand for. I was like, I've always been cool with you, always been respectful to you and everything like that, but just don't tell me how to run my show. And then that person was like, all right, fine, whatever. And I was like, Kazar, are you cool? And he's like, yeah, I'm cool. And I was like, all right, well, let's go. But little did I know until a little bit later, that person went on to another person's stream, because we were like in our own little circle of streamers and stuff back then. It was like last year, like way early last year. Started saying like, started telling that streamer that I'm transphobic and, you know, a bunch of bullshit like that. And it's only because that person trying to tell me what to do with my stream I didn't let them have that power, so they felt some type of way because of that. And then now, all of a sudden, I'm transphobic. That's not the case whatsoever. Who does he think he is? To be honest, I don't even know what it was, to be honest, because the name was like so. The name, I can't even remember, but the name was so unisex, I guess. Like I couldn't, determine like what gender the person was. But the transgender person definitely spoke like typed like a female, so I would assume that it was a biological male, transitioned into a woman, But anyway, yeah, so I just can't get down with people trying to tell me what to do on my stream. Like I'm all for, treating everybody equally and stuff like that. And yeah, sometimes we get unhinged with our jokes and stuff, right? Stuff like that, but there will be some times where I'm like, all right, let's just keep it cool, let's keep it chill, stuff like that. But if the second somebody tries to run my channel, that's when I'm like, nah, I'm not having that. Mm-mm.
You see what I'm saying? And so people don't want to live with like that level of like restrictive behavior. That's my base. Yeah, they are. And I think retarded is another one. Like people that use the word retarded don't want to be told not to use that word. And I think that if you want to take a step back, people don't want to be told what words they can and can't use, period. And you see this on Twitter. As soon as Elon Musk took over, I bet the usage of the N-word went up by 1,000%. No, that's not true. Probably 10,000%. Yeah, because, or the F word. I see, oh my God, people are really trying to bring back the homophobic F word. They're trying to bring it back in a big way. I can't even read Twitter without seeing it all the time. And do you want to know why? It's because people don't want to be told what they can and can't say.
I use the shortened term of it. I use the shortened term of that F word. Just the 3 letters, But it's usually like, I tell my friends this all the time. It's not like I'm like, I look at a gay person, I'm like, yeah. It's just like, I call Nate Lewis that, I call Conflicted that, just a whole bunch of times. It's just how we talk.
They don't want to be given a list of words by some loser and be told, no, if you say this, we're going to try to systematically destroy your life. Because you know what happens? Whenever you tell that to enough people, they decide to systematically destroy your life instead. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what happened with the election.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened. It's because if you try to antagonize people and tell them what to do, eventually they'll turn around and they'll start telling you what to do.
Free country.
Basin, I'll do it again. Yeah, and it's going to keep... This is what my opinion is. I think that we are going to move towards an overcorrection. And I think that conservative viewpoints and conservative, and I'm talking about like extreme conservative viewpoints, will continue to get more and more traction as an overcorrection because people are tired of like being told what to do or what to think. Yeah, pendulum swings back. Yeah, and I think that people are swinging back. And the thing is, what's different about it this time, I think, is that people know it. They know it, and they're doing it because they're like, you made us live with our mind in a cage. Now it's time to put you in a cage. And by the way, Trump said on day one, a lot of people probably might be going in cages. The mass deportations. Done.
Yeah.
That's it. And so I feel like and people like to, like they like to fight against this and like to say like, oh, well, this is the wrong thing to do. Well,
nobody batted it down when Obama did it.
Does it really matter who's right or wrong when you're the one that's in the cage? Not anymore. That's it.
They don't necessarily agree with Republicans. They would rather be around someone they don't agree with who doesn't judge them than somebody they do agree with who judges them constantly.
He's totally fucking right about this, by the way. 100% right about this.
Men aren't moving right because they are choosing fascism. They are moving right because the left made them the villains in their anime fan fiction. It's not that they all like Trump. It's that they all hate you. And no amount of camo hats is going to fix that. But do not get it twisted. I do not in any way, shape, or form believe the GOP is going to help men. I don't think they're going to help anyone. Except maybe Israel. Do I think all of the left...
I agree with that, too. Like... You know, somebody says like, oh, well, you can't get abortions anymore. It's like, oh, fuck, when I have to pay child support. Like, that's the first thing I think about. Oh, fuck. What, do you got to get a coat hanger now? Jesus.
Shit.
Just some hyper woke fat lady.
Or just don't have sex with the wrong people.
Lady wagging her finger in men's faces like, no fun allowed. No, if I did, I wouldn't call myself left.
And this has happened a lot. Like, I've seen this happen constantly where it's like women that are...
or just have protected sex and learn the pull-out method with a rubber on.
I don't even really know if it's women. I don't want to categorize this as all as women. But I think that it's like people that are like complaining.
Double protection, baby.
They're like, I'm really bothered by how much people are using the word retarded, or I'm really bothered by how much people think this joke is funny. Like, people shouldn't be joking about this. This isn't funny. You shouldn't be allowed to. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Don't tell me what to say. Just period. Whatever you're gonna say, I don't care. It doesn't matter what it is, what your problem is. It doesn't matter.
I don't want to hear it.
I'm not a Democrat. I'm a registered independent. But the Democratic Party is historically better on policy, and despite their messaging, even when it comes to helping men. Healthcare, higher wages, paid family leave, labor protection, Social Security, things Republicans have always fought against. And I think that's why this is extra frustrating to me. I don't say this with any love for the Republican Party. In fact, if anything, I say it with love for the Democratic Party. I fucking hate them, but deep down, I wish they could be better. I'm doing this for your own good.
Yep. This hurts me more than it hurts you.
Go sleep. I love you. Go sleep. I just hope that whether Kamala wins or loses, the party can take a step back and evaluate what they're doing wrong. Because
they're taking a step back to have a support group for each other and talk about how much they want to kill Donald Trump, how much they want to kill themselves, how much they want to kill their family members, and how much they want to kill their unborn babies.
I don't think the Democratic Party should be the party for the gays and women. I think the Democratic Party should be the party for everyone, including angry white men. So in your opinion, what could the Democratic Party do to win back young men? Can they do anything? Are they fucked? To me, it might take decades of work to fix the culture, the rot that...
I don't think that they can do it. I think that they're so captured by identity politics and like the logic and philosophy of like intersectionalism that they cannot undo this. Yeah, stop identity politics. Like I feel like basically the like Donald Trump brand of like Republican politics will exist for the next 20 years. Like after Trump like finishes his term, it's not like, oh, everything's going to go back to how it was with Mitt Romney. There's going to be like, I bet that there's probably going to be somebody who is even more like, they're probably going to say, you thought it was good now. You thought Project 2025 was bad. Wait for Project 2028. You know?
Infests the progressive ideology. It is going to take a lot of work
what's going to happen.
But I think it's worth it, not just for the Democratic Party's sake, but just for society's sake. If you like this video, please consider donating to my Patreon, link down below. It really helps the channel out, and I appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
Also, thank you for 2 million subscribers. That's insane.
A lot of people.
And I will see you guys with a new video soon. Bye!
Yep.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a good one. I like Siobhan Head. She's she makes really good videos. I gotta start watching like just her videos. I gotta start watching a bunch of videos that are not mainly taken care of by Asman over here picking his nose. like that right there. I gotta do that. And but I don't know, I just like watching the Asmon reacts. I do like reacting to Asmon reacting to videos. It's just, I don't know, it just seems much more fun. But it like extends the whole freaking thing, because look, this is an hour and 21 minutes. This is 2 hours and 27 minutes, and I started at 7 minutes. So yeah, so I pretty much I added like an extra hour on top of this reaction. That's crazy. Well, at least I know that my reaction is actually pretty good. So, I mean, pretty happy about that. That's pretty cool. Oh, what is it? It's 10:30 right now. All right. Well, yep, 2.5 hours. Yep, we're up on it. This will be the end of my stream. Oh, look at that, pork chops already. She knows my verbal cues. I'm getting ready to end stream. She's such a little brat. Let me see if I can raid out to somebody here. Well, first, let's see. Oh, I just got 2 viewers. All right, yeah, that's not too bad, I guess. Who are we gonna raid out to? Following. So we got Dr. Freezeburn, Granny, we got George, Ard, and the Tapman Tectone. Man, oh man. Bridget Gabala? Who the hell is that? I don't even know who the hell that is. Who else is that? Let's see. Yeah, you know what? Let's raid out. Yeah, we're gonna raid out to Ard. He's playing Night Rain right now. He's really good at Night Rain. I'm just gonna go ahead and yeah, just send out a raid out to him. It's only a few viewers. Ard's a really good friend of mine. I hope he's still cool with me. Ever since I got into this reaction stuff, I'm not entirely sure, but we're gonna. Oh, thank you for the like, Jeremy. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, we're gonna raid out to my buddy Ard. Pretty good streamer, very talented Souls-like player, and we are going to get the raid started. I appreciate everybody coming in, and you can see my Zen pouch. Okay, we are ready. All right, love y'all. Peace out, and remember, have a wonderful fucking day. All right, have a good one.